I'm Sherry and this is Gardening in the North, and today I am planting bare root Honeycrisp apple trees. Now I know that I just did a video on planting my bare root pawpaw trees, but I had a couple emails from some viewers that had some additional questions, and I thought that while I plant these new trees I would explain to you some of the questions that they had. So one thing I want to touch on real quick is what is a bare root tree? And so basically what it is something that has grown in the ground, and they have dug it up when it was dormant and actually froze it, put it away until it was ready to be shipped. And then once it's ready to be shipped, they send it out to you and it arrives on your doorstep. Now, what that means is that when they dig it out of the ground, it is soil free. It's just the roots. So it is a bare root tree. And so I just wanted to kind of put that out there for some of you that weren't sure, because some of you had asked me why my pawpaw trees didn't have any dirt and they weren't in a container like you would normally get if you went to Home Depot or some of the big box stores or some of the nurseries as well. Another question that I was asked is whether or not I soak my bare root trees. And the answer is yes. I usually always soak them when I get them. I didn't soak the pawpaw trees because I did mention on the video that they were nice and moist still and they didn't need to have any soaking of any sort. So I just planted them and gave them a really good drink. Now these ones here, when I picked them up, were super dry and I felt that they needed to be soaked before planting. So they've been soaking in this 5-gallon bucket probably for about 3 hours now. I just threw them in here, went and planted some of my other stuff. I have some tomatoes and squash that I'm planting, and once I was done doing that, I decided to come and plant these now. So I just want to show you what they look like. And so there isn't any soil on them. They are bare root apple trees. One thing that I do want to mention since I have it out is I always take the tags off. Now you're probably screaming at me through your phone, your device that you're using, and saying, no, don't take that tag off. I always take the tag off and I always put it onto one of these. And the reason I do that is because this here is a certain size and eventually your tree is going to grow, and you know that might harm the tree if it can't expand in that area. So usually what I do is I get these tree protectors and I usually cut them in half because they don't need to be that long. Basically you're using these for a couple reasons. One, it helps to keep a bit of the sun off of that little seedling that you're planting. And two, if you have any kind of rabbits or squirrels or anything like that that might want to chew on your trees, these are awesome. So usually what I'll do is I will just find a hole and I will stick this through it and attach it to this instead. So I'll just get that in there. Here we go. Maybe should have done this off camera. There we go. And then that way when I come up to the apple tree, if I have forgotten what it is, the tag is on there. And so after I plant the trees, I will put this on there. So another question that I got was, do I put any kind of fertilizer or anything like that in the hole once I plant the tree? And the answer is yes. I usually use a slow releasing fertilizer, usually a 10-10-10. When I went to the garden center today, they suggested that I get a natural fertilizer plant starter, and it has bone meal in it. So I'm going to use this today as well. So basically what I'm going to do is put the tree into the hole that I've dug, and I will drop some of this in it. I'll put some of the natural soil that was already in that hole back in the hole. I'll add a little compost and I'll throw a little bit more of this on top. So the other step that I didn't mention when I did the pawpaw video is that I like to use this product called Mike. I'll just show you here. And so this is a living organism that I douse on the roots of all the trees and shrubs that I plant. And the reason that I do that is it actually helps with root development. It actually helps your roots to absorb the nutrients that they need to in order to grow a stronger tree or shrub. And so if I show you here, you can see that on this side, these are, I mean, obviously it's a diagram, but these are the roots here that didn't have this product. And then these are the roots here that had it. Now, I know that some of you out there are gonna say, yeah, but that's a picture on the actual product. Of course they're gonna say that. And that might be true, except that the nursery that I go to really highly recommends this product. And I've used it before. I've used this product on trees that I have bought that were, you know, end of this season sale. They didn't look great, but I used this and they came back. I just recently did a video on some mistakes that I made. One of them was planting an apple tree in the wrong place. So I've already moved that tree and I used this and the leaves came back on it. So from my past experience, I'd say that this product is amazing. Now, I just want to put out there that I am not affiliated with this product at all. I just really like it from the experience I've had with it. So before I get planting, there's one more thing that I want to talk about that I briefly touched on in the pawpaw video, and that was the type of hole that you can dig. So in my personal experience, there have been two holes that have worked really well for me. One, and probably my preference, is doing the square hole. And the reason that I like doing the square hole is because when you plant your tree or your shrub into that square hole, you're not going to get root bound roots, because those roots are going to grow and they're going to grow and hit that corner and then move again, as opposed to a circle where they're just going to keep growing in that circle. The second way that you can plant your shrub or your trees is to dig a circle, a round hole, and really scar up the sides of that hole so that when those roots start to grow, they can hit those scarred lines that you've made with your shovel and possibly keep going, as opposed to getting root bound again in that circle. So first tree is done. I'm gonna finish off the next two trees, get them out of the way. I'm gonna go pick some fresh asparagus and get dinner going, and then we are done for the day. Tomorrow's Sunday and it's a new day. Thanks for spending time with me.